once again, another Nibbler Nightcap Note. This time I'm going to discuss with you the Dalwhinnie 15-year-old. This whisky is one of my all-time favourites. When my collection only had 10 bottles, I always had one of these. And it's still an important part. As you can see, I've got a few more whiskies now than 10, and I've always had one of these Dalwhinnie on the shelf. This bottle, I don't know whether you can see, is nearly empty, and I already have its replacement sitting under the shelf, ready to go in place of when this one's finished. Dalwhinnie is reputedly the highest whisky in Scotland, right in the heart of the Highlands. We drove to Dalwhinnie late on a Sunday, and the Scots seem to keep very frugal hours on Sundays. And this picture is of me dejectedly standing in front of the Dalwhinnie site, but the gates were closed and there was no activity. Very disappointed. I would have loved to have gone in and visited at Dalwhinnie. Let me try this whisky, the Dalwhinnie 15. And I say it's getting low, but there's always more where that came from. Okay, if we look at the colour, it's what I describe as bright straw. And that seems to be a pretty handy descriptor for most whiskies, that bright yellowish sort of colour. Bright straw. And I love the honey. It's the honey in this that's a real winner. Plus there's what I describe as a heathery character. Like when I go fishing up at the lakes here in Tasmania, and you get out in the open where there's, all that heather and other stuff growing, and that beautiful fresh air smell. Well, that's sort of what I get here in this one. I usually try to describe it as a Highland character, but I might be talking out of my rear end with that. And that's why I've kept buying it. The honey comes through and absolutely sings. It's clean and crisp. There's a bit of spiciness and nuttiness. Perhaps walnuts, something like that. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous whisky. And the finish is long and balanced, and the honey just keeps rolling on. It just keeps singing away. Pleasant roundedness, maybe a hint of coffee on the finish. Whatever, it's fabulous whisky. Truly one of the best. It's labelled on the label as the gentle spirit. Well, at 43%, it's not exactly gentle, but it's smooth and just lovely. Do you know anyone who doesn't like whiskey? Give them a glass of this, and that's them cured. Cheers.